There has been some developments in the Subnautica 2 situation. I am a huge fan of Subnautica. One of my favorite games of all time. I've played that game so much. I've got a game of it going right now that I've been playing for, I don't even know how long. That I'm not gonna beat it. I'm just building stuff. I'm just crafting. That's all it is. That's all it's for. I've already beat it like 3 times. Been playing it since it was in early access and they were just dropping updates all the time. So I'm very well invested in all of this news and I'm gonna keep following it until this game comes out, and I really, really hope that it's good. I don't know, man. I don't know. Been a lot of drama.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have ourselves an update to the Craft On Unknown Worlds lawsuit situation that we talked about not even that long ago. It was almost like there was news about Craft On and Unknown Worlds coming out almost every single day. And then it kind of went quiet after the lawsuit became official, and it's public record. You could go check it out. I've done a video on it. I've linked it before. You could go check it out. But Unknown Worlds has, officially filed a lawsuit against Craft On, but now Craft On is firing back against Unknown Worlds and saying that Subnautica 2 was going
It's a complete shit show.
To be at risk of causing irreversible harm to the entire franchise, like Kerbal Space Program 2. So they're trying to claim that if the game were to have come out under the leadership that used to be there, that the game would have been so bad that it would have been irreversible harm to the entire
franchise. And you know
franchise.
what? Guess what? I don't care. I don't care what anybody's got to say about the other. All I care about is the game being good when it comes out. And I'm just very interested in following the drama. And, basically, this is just fun. This is fun, and I just want it to be good. And we won't really know until it comes out.
Guys, that's a pretty big statement to make, in my
opinion. A lot of
opinion.
red flags, though.
So I'm very curious to see what they're going to say. Craft On says that the former heads of Unknown Worlds were fired with cause to keep them from permanently damaging Unknown Worlds' most valuable IP. They have officially filed a response to the lawsuit brought against it by the former heads of Subnautica studio Unknown Worlds, accusing them of almost immediately abandoning their responsibilities following Craft On's acquisition of the studio, despite repeated efforts to keep them on board. The publisher is requesting an outright dismissal of the lawsuit filed against it, with all the claims for relief, along with legal fees and other costs as well.
Man, I hope these people just sue each other out of existence. Just let the developers handle it. Just let the people who are passionate about making it handle it. Not even saying that the developers are passionate about making it. I want developers who are passionate about making a game to be making a game. Fuck the money. Fuck the money.
The dispute between Craft On and the former leadership of Unknown Worlds co-founders Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire and studio CEO Ted Gill came to public light in July when the trio were dismissed, but Craft On's filing points to problems going back to almost the very beginning. Cleveland, McGuire, and Gill were presented to Craft On as the visionaries behind Unknown World's success and the key to its future. It says, and so Craft On put a lot of money into keeping them around. $500 million to buy the studio, plus up to $250 million more if they led to the successful development of Subnautica 2 and other games and hit an ambitious revenue target in 4 consecutive quarters before June of 2026. Now, we've covered all of this extensively. We've covered the $500 million buyout of the studio.
Yes, you have. I think I have watched only Hypnotic for my Subnautica 2 content.
We've covered the $250 million bonus to the 3 main developers that were fired. We've covered all of this stuff, and there's been a lot of back and forth between what the developers are saying, what Craft On is saying, what the community thinks of it.
Yeah, to the point where, like, I just don't give a shit. Bunch of red flags. I'm definitely not buying day one. Probably not even going to buy week one. And definitely not going to buy it if it's going to be a full price game. It better be like $40 or I'm out on it. And I really want Subnautica 2 to be good. I don't even want Subnautica 2. I want a sequel to Subnautica 1. And Subnautica 2 just might not be that.
I think ultimately at the end of the day, the people that are really losing here is the community of Subnautica, because their game is in turmoil, because now Craft On and Unknown Worlds are in a fucking lawsuit. And it's just
and it's just like, I'm looking for this type of game again. I miss these ultra amazing crafting survival games. That's my kind of game. Like Raft, Minecraft, really expensive dinosaur game with too much DLC and mods. You all know what I'm talking about. Don't Starve, Terraria, Stardew Valley. It's just like, it's my kind of shit. The Forest, 7 Days to Die, I can name them all.
Massive mess. I think that's really what's going to affect, this game the most. But in any case, that payout is the crux of the beef. The former Unknown World boss has accused Krafton of delaying Subnautica 2 in order to avoid the payout. But Krafton says that the game simply wasn't ready for release, even in early access, in large part because the studio heads let their attention wander to other things following their big paydays. Krafton went deeper into those claims in today's filing. Oh boy, it's about to get interesting. So it says, having sold the company, Cleveland and McGuire, who pocketed almost $200 million
That's so much money.
From the...
That's so much money that you could be putting into the game. Really, you shouldn't even have to put that much money into the game. There just shouldn't be $200 million involved in a video game. Honestly, there really shouldn't. There shouldn't be that much money involved. It shouldn't cost this much money to make a video game. It's fucking bullshit. Especially one that's going to be the size that Subnautica 2 is going to be. Because it's not going to be like this groundbreaking, largest underwater world of all time kind of game. It's just not. It's going to probably be a little bit better than No Man's Sky's underwater.
The sale, and Gil, who received $60 million, quickly lost interest in development of Subnautica 2. Well, I can kind of believe that. This is the reason why there are...
Yeah, I'm losing interest in buying this game if they don't get their shit together.
Really not that many creator contracts. Do you guys realize that creator contracts are just almost non-existent now? Kind of like how Kick, remember how Kick used to give big creator contracts to big people who were streaming exclusively there? They don't really do that anymore, right? A lot of companies don't really do that anymore. And that's because they realize that what you're giving them is not a contract. What you're giving them is a retirement plan. That's what you're giving them. You're promising them $100 million to stream on your platform exclusively for like a couple of years. You just retired them. You gave them a massive payday, and they're not going to try nowhere near as hard. Do you think a streamer is going to try anywhere near as hard after receiving $100 million, $200 million payday? Of course not.
They
Probably
will if
the
they're
same
passionate.
thing here with the developers. After getting $200 million.
Yeah, you gotta get that. You gotta get that money exchange out of there. You gotta pull the money down, way down. You gotta take less money. You gotta spend less money. You gotta charge less money. You gotta make things smaller.
A piece, you think they're going to try anywhere near as hard? Probably not, right? But in any case, Krafton's former response to the lawyer states that Cleveland and McGuire abandoned their roles as studio-wide game director and technical director to focus on their personal projects and quit making games for Unknown Worlds entirely. And Gil, who remain...
How about you just have a studio for personal projects that people could just slap their name on and just release games, and it'd be like, this is from this studio. And you give them most of the profits, but you take some of it for the name. Just to have a place so people can post their games. Like, why can't we do stuff like this?
Focus on leveraging his operational control to maximize the earn-out payment rather than develop a successful game. So again, their entire nonsense, their entire thing has just completely been thrown to the side, all because they made a massive payday, right? So by July... this is a pretty good response so far by Krafton, as much as I hate to admit it. By July of 2023, Cleveland and McGuire's absence at Unknown Worlds had begun to impact the Subnautica 2 development team. The development director at Unknown Worlds told Gil that folks think Max and Charlie are checked out as studio heads and are confused as to why. In reality, Cleveland had abandoned video games to pursue filmmaking, a process he documented publicly on his website and social media. That's not good. That's not good, because that's going to lead evidence to Krafton's claims. If he documented anything other than Subnautica 2 development, that's going to lead evidence to their claims. For his part, McGuire started that working on initiatives that fall outside of the company's main development activities, stating that his priority was to try something that feels personally meaningful to me. Gill remained as Unknown Worlds president and CEO, but without the original creators, Subnautica 2 suffered serial developmental delays under his watch. Then Krafton claims that problems with Subnautica 2 came to light in an internal assessment in March of 2024. But rather than getting down to work, studio leadership blamed others and overhauled the team. You know what's interesting? What's interesting for me is that I wonder what the team thinks, right? Nobody's heard anything from the team. Nobody's heard anything from the people that are working on the game every day. Nobody's heard a single thing. I don't think any of them have.
Which I think is actually a very, very bad thing. I think since nobody's talking about it, nobody's showing anything. I haven't seen nothing about Subnautica 2. And what I've seen, it kind of steers me a little bit away from it because it seems like it's kind of leaning into the tropes that Subnautica Below Zero kind of bought into. And I wasn't into it. I wasn't into the vibes. And I don't know nothing about Kerbal Space Program 2, so that's just kind of a non-issue for me. Don't care.
Spoken out. They probably can't because of the lawsuit. So I wonder who they think is right in this situation. Because according to Krafton, the team was thinking that these leaders were checked out. They were thinking that the leaders were not there in their best favor. So I wonder who they really think is right in this situation.
You know, I don't even care. I don't even care if they were working on something besides Subnautica 2. A lot of times, whatever you're working on in the sidelines, on the side, your side project will give you ideas for your main thing. You never know, man. I don't care as long as you're putting in the work and you're passionate about it.
The answer, so long as the lawsuit is going on. But again, Krafton claims that the problems, they came to light in 2024 in March, and apparently the leadership blamed others and overhauled the entire team and continued to reduce the scope of the game. As the release continued to be delayed, by the spring of 25, Krafton felt the game was still far from ready for early access. The suit said CEO Chang Han Kim worried that Subnautica 2 would end up like Kerbal Space Program 2.
Just finish the game and release it. $200 million to one guy. Finish your game and release it. Don't be paying $200 million to people and then releasing your game in early access. Like, give me a fucking break. Finish your fucking game.
Causing irreversible harm to the entire IP franchise. As Unknown World's sole stockholder, Krafton had invested $500 million in the success of not only Subnautica 2, but also Subnautica 3 and Subnautica 4. And
Subnautica 3 and 4? You think we're actually going to see those? Judging by the way this is going, I don't think so.
Any other future Subnautica franchise products,
or at least not the ones we want to see.
To prevent the key employees from permanently damaging Unknown World's most valuable IP, the company itself and its goodwill with its fans and following.
Subnautica is their most valuable IP. A game that has 2 games, not even, and 1.5 games. Their most valuable IP. The sequel hasn't even come out yet.
Conduct by the key employees that plainly gave rise to termination for cause, Krafton terminated the key employees consistent with the terms of both their employment agreements and the EPA.
You got all your eggs in one basket and the basket's way too small and the eggs are overflowing, falling on the floor and busting.
The bulk of the response is a line-by-line answer to the lawsuit filed by the former Unknown Worlds bosses, which gets into painfully tedious detail, regardless of very first sentence in the very first paragraph of the lawsuit. For instance, Krafton acknowledges acquiring Unknown Worlds, but denies the claim that the studio was wildly successful. It all very loyally, but in other words, but the net result is a legally comprehensive reinstating of the defense Krafton has put up all along. Subnautica 2 is not ready for the light of day, and the former Unknown Worlds bosses were willing to put it out anyway, just to collect a paycheck. So, again, this entire thing
is retarded.
I don't know which way to go. I got to be honest with you. This whole thing here,
really, you know which way I'm going? I'm going the way of I'm going to wait a little bit after this game releases to see what it's like. And we're going to know day one whether it's going to be good or not. And I'm still going to wait whether it's good or whether I'm going to buy. If I'm going to buy it, I'm still waiting. I'm not buying day one. Just out of principle. You know, I'm just putting that forward. No pre-orders, no buying day one. No, I don't even want to buy week one. Fuck the hype. Fuck the hype. I don't give a shit. Especially if it's going to be full price. I ain't going to fucking pay full price.
Really does kind of push more towards Krafton and what they're saying. I'm not going to say that the company is absolvent of any wrongdoing, because at the end of the day, they're a studio. I don't trust them, you know, as far as I could throw them.
And I don't care.
But I do think that
I don't trust any studios. There's no single studio that I trust with anything. I just want good stuff. And when it comes out and it's good, then I'm there for it. But if it comes out and it's bad, then I'm going to make fun of your ass. I'm probably going to make fun of you all the way until it comes out, because a lot of times we know something's going to be bad, or something seems like it's going to be bad, and we're really, really hoping it's going to be good. But at the end of the day, all of this is just entertainment for me, because I'm a poor boy. I have to decide what I want, and I've already decided what I want, and it's not going to be anything that anybody's advertising. I'm probably going to get Resident Evil 9. That's probably going to be the very next game that I get.
this does not look good, especially if that one of those developers really did document how he was focused on other things other than Subnautica 2, right? If he was focused on film.
Actually, I say I'm going to get Resident Evil 9. I'm definitely getting Resident Evil 9 week 1.
Making, if it was focused on any of that stuff, and he was doing that while working on Subnautica 2, that's really not going to be a good look, right? That's not going to be a good look at all. So we're going to see what happens, because now we got official filings from both sides. This is part of their official filing in the lawsuit. So this is their response to the first filing from Unknown Worlds. We shall see what's going to happen from here. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below, what is going on here? Who do you believe is in the right now that you've heard Krafton's response?
Do I believe is in the right? I believe I am in the right. I believe whatever decision I make is going to be the correct one.
Think they're in the right? Do you think that the original developers were checked out? Or do you think that the OG developers were right and that Krafton was just trying to be sly with the money? Whatever it may be.
I think fuck them all. They're all trying to fuck around with this game because of money. Like one side, the side that's right could just be like, fuck it. Fuck it all. We're throwing everything we can at the passion to make this game. Fuck the money. We'll throw it all away. We'll throw all the money away. Let's just finish this shit.
Leave a thought in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And I will see you guys on the next one.
Yeah, it is fucking stupid. Well, I guess we're going to find out if that game's going to be good or not. It's probably going to be mid. I'm hoping that it's going to be really, really good or really, really bad. And it's probably going to be one of those three. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really, really good, really, really bad, or straight up mid. And mid is the worst case scenario. Like, comment, subscribe.